What is up? What is up? What is up, gents? Good to have you all back for another live. Tonight, we're going to be going over what to do when you feel like you've lost your mojo. So, I don't know if any of you have ever seen Austin Powers before when they steal his mojo and it makes him sexually impotent. So, we've all been here, let's be honest. Shit, I sure of hell have. Where you feel like nothing's going right for you. Like literally just nothing is working within your body, within your sex life, within like, you know how it's one of those days where you wake up in the morning, you feel like shit, you get up out of bed, you stub your toe, you go to have a piss, you piss all over the seat, and you're just like, ah, oh, fuck. Like one of those. And I know a lot of guys live like that. That's pretty exaggerated, right? But a lot of guys live in that sort of way, like pretty often. So I'm going to go through on like how you can actually go through and fix that, how we can work on it, and a few different tips and techniques. This is going to be two parts. So with the way that we're running lives now, is I'm going to be splitting them up into two parts every single week. Okay, and this is going to help you guys. Like anyone who ever feels like this is going to help you a lot, and it's going to map you out step by step exactly what you need to do. All right, particularly around sex drive, particularly around testosterone, and making sure that you're feeling fucking awesome. Now, by the way, before we get on into this as well, if you're watching this live, please comment live, like literally hashtag live. If you're watching this as a replay, comment replay. Okay, what this does is it lets us know who's live and who's not, and we can arrange this content even better for you. So for those of you guys who aren't like Adam Nash, Adam's one of our boys. He's a fucking stud, like best dude ever. Big love to you, Adam, man. If you're not like Adam, you haven't been around us for a while, you haven't been in and working with the JCF crew. What I do is I help men perform at their peak and just feel fucking awesome, like dominate every single day. Yes, we also do help women as well. So we predominantly work with blokes, and then generally out of that too, we've got a lot of guys who ask us, can we help your wife? Can we help your sister, friend, something like that? We help those guys as well, but predominantly we're working with dudes. And my whole purpose in life, like the only thing I want to do until the day I die, is just help dudes, potentially like you, just dominate and absolutely fucking crush. If there's one thing I've seen, is that so many guys have heaps and heaps of issues with stuff like losing your mojo. And it's bullshit. Like there's no reason you should ever not feel at 110%. I've had my fair share of ups and downs. I've had digestive issues. I've had really bad IBS. I've had depression, bipolar, anxiety, like all that sort of stuff. I've taken way too many drugs in my time, and I've drank too much as well. I've done all the dumb shit because I didn't have this sort of information. I didn't have this sort of guidance. I've had periods where there's a period where I didn't have sex for like a very, very long time. And for those of you who've known me for a while, I'm big on sex. I think it's very, very important. There are periods in my life where my body was so fucked up that I was literally having sex like just like once or twice every 6 months to a year, and it was really, really gnarly. And so I want to save you guys some of the pain that I've been through, and just help you absolutely fucking dominate. Now, also with all of these Q&As, whenever I'm online, you can ask questions. I'll go through and answer them. So tonight we're going to be starting off. We're going to be crushing what to do when you feel like you've lost your mojo, all the way through to, whatever questions you ask. So anything that you need, just let me know. Who have we got live? Big Toby Kosh, my man, good to have you on here. Michael Larson, good to have you on here, brother. Zach, Danny, it's a pleasure to have you on here, boys. Really, really cool. Now, guys, let's crack on in straight away. So what we're going to do is we're going to be looking at, first of all, what is it like when I say you've lost your mojo, what does it actually mean? Here's what we're looking at. Number one, you just don't feel as good as what you should. You're feeling a little bit lethargic. Your old fella isn't working. I'm very adamant on this. Every single bloke should wake up in the morning pitching a tent. All right? If you know what I mean by pitching a tent, if you don't know what I mean by pitching a tent, all right, imagine your sheets are like the canvas and there's something holding it up. Okay, say no more. You should wake up pitching a tent feeling really, really fucking good. You should have good blood flow going down there. You should have a healthy sex drive. Every bloke should do it. You know what's crazy is more dudes don't talk about this. It's fucking weird. Everyone shits, everyone gets anxious, and everyone has sex. Right? Nobody talks about these things. And we're going to be focusing tonight on the one around sex. Whenever your sex drive is down, it shows to your body that something is wrong. As men, we're like wombats, right? Eats, shoots, and leaves, okay? We literally have several purposes. That is to consume enough food to make us strong enough to then procreate, have kids, fuck, whatever you want to call it, right? And that's about it. That's all that we're really designed to do in the end of the day. If you're missing any of those key two purposes, then you've got something going wrong. We are programmed to want to have sex a lot. If you are wanting to have sex any less than once a day, there's something going on that we need to look at. All right. And that's whether you're in a short term, even when you're in a long term relationship, we still want to be able to do this. I've got guys, by the way, too, for context, I've got dudes in their 50s and their 60s who have been with their partners for 10, 20, 30, 40 years who are still throwing a leg over pretty well every single night. It is not uncommon for that to happen in someone who is really, really healthy. And bet you, like, let's look at it this way. When you're on holidays and you're super chilled out and you're really good and you're in an awesome space and you feel fucking awesome and you just feel absolutely wonderful, chilled out, relaxed, you have way more sex. When you get back home and you're super stressed and there's fucking stuff to worry about, there's kids running around, there's work and there's bills and there's stress and there's stress and there's stress, all of a sudden your sex drive goes down. Coincidence? No, not at all. The two are directly correlated. Whenever your sex drive is higher, you are going to be healthier. And it's really, really important that we monitor this and we take care of this. Your sex drive should be something which actually tells you how your body is functioning. If you're not paying attention to your sex drive, it's like the world's best biomarker. Everyone wants to know, what's my biological age? Am I healthy? Am I good? Am I functioning well? Am I doing everything the right way? Your sex drive will give you 99% of those answers. If your sex drive is good, chances are you're going to be doing pretty good and you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Simple as that. Okay? So this is the first thing I want you guys to focus on and to look at. Next thing after that, having a good sex drive and having your mojo really tells us is that your testosterone levels are there. It is literally near impossible to have low testosterone levels and have a healthy sex drive. So we need to do that. Now, what flow-on effects does this have? If you have higher testosterone levels, you will be more confident. Did you know as well that guys who have higher levels of testosterone in general will be far more likely to be successful in business? There's a whole heap of different things, like in business and in work, in their careers. There's a whole heap of things that flow into it, and I'm just going to list a few right now. When you have a better sex drive and you have higher levels of testosterone, you will be more confident. All right. We all know that after busting a nut with a partner, lady or man, whatever you're into, right? But busting a nut after that, you feel more confident. Whereas when you're on a dry spell, it really saps your confidence. That's the first thing. Next thing after that, guys with higher levels of testosterone are going to be more anxious. Partly because they're going to be more anxious. They're going to be less anxious because they are more confident and because testosterone at the same time is anxiolytic. So if you look at the most aggressive people who are going around, they are men. If you look at the most aggressive men in particular, they're men with low levels of testosterone, not high levels of testosterone, right? Men with low testosterone. It is very, very rare to find a man, comparatively, with the population who has pumping levels of testosterone, is really, really super healthy, who has issues around anger and insecurity and whatnot. Super, super important. Okay, so what do we actually do about this? If you have low sex drive, if you have low confidence, you have have anxiety, you have low testosterone, if you have any of these issues, what do we actually do to get your mojo back? Here's what you need to look at. Step number one, you need to learn about the nervous system. That is the very, very first thing. You need to learn it. You need to understand it. The body is ran by a control center. That is your brain. That is your nervous system. It's ran particularly by one thing called the autonomic nervous system, if we really want to nerd out and get technical here. But the nervous system, that is the first thing that you want to do. If you are not sleeping well, if you're stressed out, if you are not eating well, if your digestive system is not good, if you are constantly suffering, getting under attack from flus and colds and stuff like that, and you're not supporting your body well, your testosterone levels will go down. There is a stress hormone called cortisol, cortisol. When that puppy goes up because you're stressed, your testosterone comes down as a response, and vice versa. Okay? So that is why we need to make sure that we look after our nervous system. If you look after your nervous system, you'll be great. Here are some things not to do. Bullshit supplements. Get rid of them. Fuck them off. Anything that says test booster, anything that says increase your sex drive, anything which says any of that rubbish, get rid of it. The only things which increase testosterone, proven in every single human being, are steroids, testosterone, right? Taking literal testosterone, that is the only way to do it. If your body is not producing adequate testosterone and you're eating an okay diet, a standard Western diet, right, chances are it's going to be from your nervous system. It's not going to be because you're deficient in a certain hormone or something like that. It's not going to be deficient in a certain vitamin that a supplement can go and fix, all right? If you want to improve your levels of hormones, look after your nervous system. Eat a good diet. It's pretty simple. All right. That's where you need to start. Now, most of you guys are going to be getting more than enough micronutrients and macronutrients to have, that's like dietary stuff, to have good levels of testosterone. But the nervous system is the king, and that's what we work on all the time. If any of you guys have issues with your sex drive and want to improve this, what I want you to do down the bottom in the comment section is I want you to comment, "Get my mojo back." And what we'll do is we're going to dish you something which is going to help you out, okay? We've got a big, long series of information that we can give to you, which is going to be super, super helpful. So just comment down the bottom, "Get my mojo back." All right? Now, guys, I'm actually going to have to jump off in a sec. I've only got a couple of minutes, but I just want to shout out to a couple of people. Number one, Adam Nash. Adam's just said, "Sex drive has been awesome since starting with you, brother. Does arriving to the party early, so to speak, have anything to do with test levels?" No, not all the time. Does it arriving to the party early? That doesn't. But what can is going to be your neurotransmitters and your nervous system again. One thing I can advise you on that, dude, is try taking 5-HTP, 100 to 200 milligrams, 30 minutes to 90 minutes before you go and do the deed, and you will last significantly longer by going and doing that. Brendan McCassar, good to have you on here, my man. It's a pleasure as always. Now, crew, before I go, if you need help with this and you want to get your mojo back, comment, "Get my mojo back." Just like Danny McCarthy has. Danny, I'll shoot you a message. We'll get you what you need. We'll go through and we'll make sure that you guys are fucking dominating. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys. A pleasure as always. And it's lovely to message a lot of you dudes as well who are coming into the group too in Messenger. If there's anything you need help with, reach out. We got you back. Speak soon, crew.